They heard us just laughing up a storm in here, man. I couldn't stop laughing. They were making me laugh. It was just good vibes all around. And so once I left that day, I was like, this is home.
Hey, what's up? Kevin Amos, Pine Financial Group, where we work together so you succeed. Hey, you found us here on Facebook. Maybe you found us on YouTube. Please do us a favor. We're trying to help more real estate investors. To do that, we could build a bigger channel. So help us out. Hit like, hit subscribe, and for sure, leave me some comments below. You might want to do that today because we are doing another Meet the Team video with Anthony Del Toro. Goes by Tony. I've actually never heard anyone call you Anthony. It's always been Tony. So about 6 months in now. So we thought we'd introduce him to our viewers. So Tony, what's up, man?
Hey, Kev, how you doing, man? Thanks for having me on today. I'm excited to chat a little bit with you.
Yeah, I'm excited to get to know you a little bit. Now we've hung out a little bit. You know, we did a hard money class and we went and did a happy hour. That was funny. So we said, everyone from the class come to the happy hour. And it was just you and I that went. So that was kind of fun. And then we went to that Nuggets game together, but I haven't really gotten to know you. So I'm excited today to dig in a little bit. So let's start, Tony, by telling us who you are.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, as Kev alluded to, my name's Anthony. I do go by Tony. So, any interactions with me, call me Tony. And so a little bit about myself. So I'm the youngest of two. I got two older sisters, so the youngest of three. We grew up in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. So I've been a native here my whole life. Ended up going to Colorado State University as well. So, been within Colorado in these boundaries for the duration of my entire life. So it's been really nice time growing up here in Colorado. One thing that kind of goes hand in hand with that is, my love for sports and the mountains. And so love to snowboard, big on the snowboarding, try to go up at least, a few times a year if I can make that happen. Diehard Nuggets fan. You probably will be hard pressed to find someone that likes the Nuggets more than me. All Denver sports. I like the Broncos. I don't like to say I'm a fair weather fan for them, but man, they've had some tough years. So it's
Been tough.
hard to say that, but I'm a diehard at heart. So definitely getting further into it. I went to Colorado State University. I graduated with a degree in finance. Took a lot of great classes up there. Had a really, really good time for those 4 years that I was up there. However, coming towards the end of that college career, that's when COVID hit. And so dealing with that kind of at the tail end of it was really interesting and a lot different than how I, pictured the ending of my college career to go. So dealing with that was definitely a big pivot. And then kind of going from there, being graduated during the pandemic, that was just a really weird time. And so really gave me a chance to, get close with my family. So I moved in with my grandfather after I graduated from college, and he's my best. I can say that about him for sure. We have the same birthday. He's actually 69 years to the day older than me. And he's one of those old guys that's kind of crazy. He likes to, garden, he still golfs, very active. And so, having a great relationship with him has been something that I've cherished over these last few years. And that kind of just led me to where I'm at now.
So you mentioned he likes to golf, but you like to golf too a little bit, right? You do that quite a bit.
Yeah, all the time, actually. So I played golf in high school. I tried to play a little bit up in college on the club team as well. But yeah, he definitely was the one that got me into it. It wasn't my passions growing up were definitely basketball, football, baseball, the big three here in Colorado. But once I got introduced to golf, that was the one that kind of won my heart over. I played it for, I think, probably 12 years now, and there hasn't been a summer that's gone by where I haven't been on that golf course trying to be better, play better, and become a better golfer all around. And a lot of that time was with my grandpa too. So all kind of aspects of golf have really played into who I am and what I do now, and has made my relationships with all of those kind of people a lot better.
Yeah, I've seen you swing a golf club, man. You're pretty good. Have you and Howie gotten up together?
We haven't gotten out per se, but he's been wanting to give me lessons, and so I know how good of a golfer he is, and I know I could use the lessons. So definitely going to be looking to get out with him sometime soon.
Yeah, I want to go with you. When you guys go out, I would like to go with you. I want to be part of that foursome if I'm welcome.
Foursome and then go out and have some fun.
Let's do it, man. Seriously. All right. Snowboarding. I love snowboarding too. We go to Copper Mountain. We've kind of been married to that mountain because our kids have grown up in the program. Where do you go?
Yeah, so I like a park. So I usually try to go to Breckenridge. Area 51 is a place that I find myself out quite often. If I'm not there, I usually try to go I'm forgetting the mountain. What's it called? A Basin, I think it's what it's called. It's the one that has the parking lot where you can pretty much just snowboard right to your car.
Yep,
That
yep,
one
yep.
is it's probably the easiest to get to from where I'm situated as well. And so those are like the two I regular. Keystone as well is a big one. That's the one where usually me and a lot of my friends will go. I'll try to get a group that'll go up there for, a weekend and spend a couple of days out in the cabin, just kind of out in the without our technology, without the phone stuff. I always think it's really a important thing to do that, especially with friends that you valued throughout the years, just to get a little tech getaway and have a great time out there. So definitely try to do that at least once a year. And then one of my newer friends, they have a apartment up in, or a really nice house up in Winter Park. And so I got the opportunity to ski there this last year, and that was a lot of fun as well.
Oh, cool. All right. So you're super active. Golf, basketball, football. You love the Nuggets. I think we're going to edit in some photos of you and I at the Nuggets game. We had some phenomenal seats. Got to watch a W against the Bulls, right? That was a pretty epic night. So
game.
let's talk about Pine a little bit. How long have you been part of Pine, and what's your role?
Yeah, so I joined Pine May 15th of this year, so just coming up on about 6 months now. And so when they brought me on, I've got a nice, cool, pretty title of loan analyst. What does that entail is a lot of different hats. And so, to start, basically, I do kind of all sides of the house, whether it be the front side, we're getting it, the origination from start to finish, working with the borrower and the loan officer. So within that aspect, I'll do a lot of our pre-underwriting. And so I get my eyes on the loan and all the documents before we send it to our big senior underwriter. Just work through the issues that we're having there, things that I see that we need, issues that might come up at closing or that'll hold up our lien on the spot. That's kind of where I start. And then, once that loan is past the finish line, I take over the quality control for it. I'll be making sure that we're getting the final loan docs in. I'll be making sure that title had the settlement statement correct, the checks that were coming in for us, making sure that everything's accurate there. And so that's kind of our post close, quality control. I'll do that as well. And then furthermore, we have a lot of our banking relationships and banking partners when we're trying to outreach to them or trying to draw down some line of credit so that we can keep our liquidity up. I deal hand in hand with them. So, they have some certain requirements that are different than what we have and different things that they need to see that I produce and get ready for them. And so kind of being a Swiss Army knife on all three of those aspects of the house has been a very interesting integration into the system here. I feel like a Swiss Army knife at times where I'm doing things from start to finish, and then after the finish to the post close, and then, even further getting it to the banks and getting it pledged out to them. So wearing all three of those hats has been something that I've embraced and I've been really enjoying so far.
Yeah, so you've probably been learning a lot the last 6 months because you literally touch every single file. So when our client is getting asked for a pay stub or a bank statement, that's because of you, right? It's like,
yeah,
I want to see this.
Exactly. I don't like to say I'm the axe swinger or the Grim Reaper here, but definitely when I reach out, I'm like, hey, we need this, and they're like, God dang it, I wish, Tony, that's a good call, good catch, but God dang it. And
That's
so,
funny.
I don't mind being that guy. And so, that's what they brought me on for. And so I really try to be pretty firm with my process and how I kind of go about doing all of that stuff and dealing with the borrowers and stuff. It's a little bit less than, the LOs do, but I still, have a hand in email back and forth, or, if they call in and they have a quick question, I kind of deal with that too. So, being forward facing and in the backside of it has really, really taught me a lot. And especially coming from where I came from in the past, which I'm sure we'll get into here soon, is it's a lot different than what I'm used to.
Yeah, right now is the perfect time because you were a mortgage broker before, and that's a challenging industry, especially in this environment. So talk a little bit about that, and then why you decided to join the Pine team.
Yeah, absolutely. So, when I alluded to earlier, when I first got out of college, COVID was hitting. It was tough times for a lot of companies out there, but the one thing that was thriving during COVID was real estate. And, I had needed one more class to get my minor in real estate finance, but push came to shove and I kind of had to decide which path I wanted to take and how I could get there. And so, once I got out and I was out, in the field looking for jobs, I really kind of clung to real estate, going through my finance classes, always talking about, stocks, equities, all this stuff. It really, really resonated with me, but it was one thing that I couldn't see. And I'm a physical person, and I like to, see what I'm investing in, see what's going on there. And so I figured there was no better place to do that than in real estate, especially with my finance degree. And that kind of pointed me in the direction of becoming, a loan officer. I started out as a processor though, which has really helped me in my current role at Pine. So being a conventional processor during the refi boom during COVID, it was just absolutely crazy. Learned a lot, gained a lot of information, worked under a really good team that had a really good mentor there. And he was the one that really pushed me to do more than what I was doing at the time and, go out there and get my license and become a loan officer. And so, his motivation and my thought process kind of pushed me into that path. And so once I was able to, get the courage to go out there and start studying again and doing all that stuff to get my license, I really started to get into real estate finance, how it all works, how the industry works, all that stuff. Got my license, was able to get taken on the same company that I started at. Got another mentor there, so she took me under her wing. She taught me the ins and outs of how to sell, how to originate, how to talk to people, how to, quote unquote, get what you want in a way and get to that finish line and make it the best process for your borrower and yourself as well. And so, all of that stuff kind of lined up. Once the refi boom was done and things kind of market started turning on itself, as a young, hungry 24-year-old loan officer, it was a big challenge for me to try to, attract that business where I'm dealing with industry vets that are also doing the same thing because their book of business is dried up as well.
Right.
And so when push came to shove, it was like, where can I take what I know and what I've learned now, and how can I apply that and, stay and not have to relearn a whole new industry if I were to pivot. And so that kind of led me straight into thinking, what in real estate has what I can offer, but also doesn't have the kind of relationship with the economy that was dampering what I was doing there before. And so, that's when I started looking to private and hard money lending, and one thing led to another. And I had my first interview here at Pine. Got to have it with Jared and Brandon, and I don't think I looked back after that. They brought me in for a second interview, which I like to say was my real interview because it was with all of the women in our office, the ops team, Danielle, Kirsten, all of those good people that you guys have met in the prior videos. They were all the ones that gave me like the real interview. And, once I met them, I think Brandon and Jared were outside in their offices and they heard us just laughing up a storm in here, man. I couldn't stop laughing. They were making me laugh. It was just good vibes all around. And so once I left that day, I was like, this is home. I really hope that they feel the same way. And then, I got that great call where they brought me on, and it's been nothing but flowers and candy since then.
You're awesome, man. All right, we got to get wrapped up here, but I want to ask you, because you do touch every single loan, what can our borrowers or our clients do to help you do your job?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'd say the one thing that our borrowers could do to help me is be more responsive. I know that they try their best to communicate with us, and we always do our best to be, transparent and stuff. But when it's a time crunch in the industry that we're in, where we need things and we need them now because this deal is moving as fast as it possibly can, that's one thing that sometimes can hold us up is the issue of hey, we need this one last piece. I know we've asked for a few pieces, but trying to get that last piece done is something that would be beneficial for both borrower and myself, so that one, I can give the green light on the loan and say, hey, this thing's ready to go, and then also help the borrower feel more comfortable in the process and speed that their loan is moving at, and how they can get that project done. Because at the end of the day, this is not a small investment for a lot of people. This is most of their main jobs. If not, it's a very expensive side gig that they're doing. And so want to make sure that, we can get it done in a timely manner for them, because I know that it's their money at the end of the day, and we're just helping them get there.
Yeah, it's interesting how you describe that. So there's a ton of money in the industry of logistics. And the reason for that, Tony, is because that last mile is the toughest. So you hear Amazon talk about that. Well, we can get the package delivered, to a certain point very, very quickly, but that last mile is where the struggle is, right? But I mean, Amazon might not be the best example because they're phenomenal at it, but it's always that last mile. So in real estate, and how you're describing it, that last document, that last little piece, that last mile is where we need the most support from our clients to get to that closing table. Am I hearing that right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I'm alluding to because it's all, we can get everything in and think we have what we need, but sometimes things change, time changes, time goes on, some things get held up and we need a new thing or we need to revisit this because the numbers have changed, just things like that in that last mile. That's the one thing that if the borrower could be, hand in hand and kind of walk with us to the finish line on that, that'd be something that I think would help our process as well as help the borrower out.
Let's make it more smooth. Awesome. Okay. Last question before we wrap this up. Anything else you want to share with our viewers? Anything we should know about you or a fun story, anything like that?
Yeah, I guess so. I feel like I alluded to a lot earlier that I was the super active guy. I'm always out doing stuff, and that's very true. But I'm a nerd at heart, so I'm a big time gamer. And so if you guys know me in the office, I'm always talking. I love my video games. I love my numbers and stuff. I do a lot of betting, and so I'm a very analytical guy when it comes to that kind of stuff. And so I do like to have a lot of fun outside active stuff. But man, if I can be in for a night where I'm, gambling on my favorite basketball team while also playing my favorite video game. Nothing's better than that as well. So
I did not know that. That's cool. All right. Well, I really, really appreciate you deciding to join the team. It feels like it's a great match. So we're happy as hell to have you as part of our team. You're making a big, big impact, man. So I want to share my gratitude to you and thank you for coming on the show or the video and introducing yourself to our viewers. So with that, I'm just gonna say thank you so much, Tony. And if you're watching, do what Tony asked, help us with the last mile. You can get more information on how we help you at pinefinancialgroup.com. Thanks, Tony.
of course, thank you, Kev.